You people board last. The words cut through the crowded terminal like a slap. Hassan al-Mansuri, draped in a tailored suit and silk keffiyeh, held up a torn boarding pass between his manicured fingers. With a sharp rip, he shredded the ticket that belonged to Noah Carter, a young black traveler waiting quietly in line. Gasps rolled down the boarding gate. The line froze. A gate agent's hand trembled over the scanner but didn't move. Noah's shoulders stiffened, his eyes locked forward, but his jaw clenched hard enough to ache. Hassan smirked, tossing the shredded paper toward the floor. "Know your place," he barked, his voice echoing above the airport chatter. For a moment, the silence felt suffocating. Luggage wheels stopped rolling. Phones hovered mid-air. Even the departure announcement seemed to fade, leaving only the sting of humiliation hanging heavy in the air. Noah bent to pick up the torn pieces, his fingers shaking but steadying as he rose. He had been through this before, the sharp edge of prejudice in public spaces, but never this blatant. Hassan leaned back, arms spread wide as if the jet bridge was his throne. "Do you really think someone like you deserves first class?" His words were sharp, rhythmic, meant to cut. Eyes turned, some pitying, some curious, but no one dared to step in. A mother pulled her child closer, an older man glanced away, ashamed but silent. The gate agent whispered, "Sir, please, this isn't," only to be silenced by Hassan's raised hand. Noah's chest tightened, his boarding pass gone, his dignity under siege. He remembered his father's voice, "When they push you down, rise taller." His lips pressed into a line, refusing to break. The injustice was unbearable, and yet Noah held still, waiting, knowing the truth was heavier than any insult. The crowd's unease deepened, that shared sense of witnessing something wrong but fearing the cost of speaking out. Every second stretched, holding its breath for what might come next. The supervisor finally approached, clipboard in hand, voice tight. "Sir, we cannot allow you to destroy another passenger's boarding document." Hassan laughed, the sound hollow and cruel. "Passenger? He's lucky to even stand in this line. People like him ride the bus." The word struck like a whip. Murmurs rippled through the terminal, passengers shifting uncomfortably. Noah lifted his gaze, eyes steady, voice calm. "I know exactly what I'm standing in line for. And I know the rules better than you." Hassan scoffed, but his smirk faltered as Noah reached into his jacket and pulled out a slim leather wallet. He laid down an ID card embossed with the seal of the Port Authority. "Noah Carter," he said evenly, "owner's representative for terminal operations. This gate? This building? It falls under my review." The crowd erupted in stunned whispers, the kind that crash like waves. The gate agent's eyes widened, the supervisor stepped back. Hassan froze, mouth open but soundless, the power he thought untouchable suddenly stripped bare under the fluorescent lights. The air seemed to tilt as silence swallowed the gate. Hassan's entourage shifted uneasily, one man lowering his phone that had been recording smugly only moments before. Noah didn't flinch, didn't raise his voice. He simply handed the supervisor a folded document. She opened it with trembling hands, eyes darting across the page. It was an official audit notice, stamped and signed by the airport director. "Effective immediately, this incident will be logged as a violation of federal boarding regulations," Noah said, his tone like steel. Hassan stepped forward, anger flaring, but his bravado cracked when two TSA officers appeared, summoned quietly from the corner. One officer spoke, firm but calm. "Sir, you're not boarding this flight today." Hassan's jaw dropped, the arrogance draining into disbelief. The gate agent, finding her voice at last, announced, "Passenger Carter, your seat has been reinstated." A ripple of relief swept the line, strangers clapping softly, some nodding through tears. Hassan, once towering with authority, now stood small, his torn paper on the floor like evidence of a reign that ended in seconds. Noah didn't linger. He gathered his bag, scanned his new pass, and walked onto the jet bridge without a backward glance. Behind him, Hassan pleaded in fragments, his voice cracking, but no one moved to help. The applause grew louder, not a roar, but the steady rhythm of justice settling into place. Later, on the plane, a passenger leaned across the aisle. "Why did you put yourself through that undercover?" Noah looked out the window, the runway lights blurring like memories. "Because you only see the truth of a system when you're at its weakest point," he said softly. The video of Hassan ripping the ticket had already gone viral before the plane left the ground, millions watching the arrogance crumble in real time. Hassan's privileges were revoked, his name trending as a symbol of disgrace. Noah never celebrated. He simply returned to work, auditing quietly, ensuring the next traveler wouldn't be silenced. And in that quiet strength, strangers found hope, a reminder that dignity cannot be torn like paper.